Hey guys, Tbull here. Today we got a game in the Kleber for you. We got Violet, Inspirations, Bay, and Sims. Now I think those are the inspirations on all my destroyers right now. Sims, if you do the math, has one of the biggest positive impacts on your destroyers build in terms of percentage increase out of all the available perks. So that's why I'm putting them on there now. Increase the survivability. You can agree with that or not, but I think it's been a pretty good build since I've been trying it for the last month or so. Got a game on Northern Waters, I believe, domination mode game. One destroyer per cap. We're on the A cap. Now we got options here. When we're planning on attacking this A cap, you can either go to the left of it, which is going to put you more in the middle of the map, potentially give you more spotting, but also subject you to more potential, ships that are countering your position. And you don't really know until you get around that edge of the island what the enemy deployment is there. So that's a little bit more risky. It's more effective in terms of map control, though. You can affect A and B rapidly. You can spot the area like we said. And if the situation on A gets hot, you can just go over and support B much more rapidly. However, we got two Azuma cruisers behind us, and they're both coming over here to support, so we're going to take the safer option playing over here. If you're on the right-hand side of this island, it's safer. There's less ships that'll be able to shoot you, but your immediate control on the map is diminished. So that's kind of the trade-off there, but we elect to play the safer route here. The radio locator suggesting the closest ship right on the other side of this island here. So we're assuming that's the destroyer. We'll see the base begin to be captured right before we get on there, and since we're a Kleber, one of the fastest ships in the game, it's almost certain that the enemy destroyer right on the other side of this island. So we're going to be keeping an eye on him. See a Cleveland over here. Now Cleveland should be like a magnet that's, the polar opposite. It should just push you away. Anything with the radar on it as a destroyer, if you're in the radar range, which we currently are now, you just kind of have to get out of there unless you're pretty dang sure that nobody can shoot you, which currently is the case, or you think that they're in between the radar reloads. But being within that radar range puts you at extreme death. If you popped it right now, Yamato's secondaries would start going off and he could hit us with the main guns. So we get out of there. Can't necessarily affect A at the moment with the enemy deployment. We got these Azumas like we talked about. Now they're going toe-to-toe with Yamato. That's a problem. They don't have torpedo threats. They got low damage per minute, and they can't really protect themselves from the Yamato, especially at close range. So this situation's looking pretty dire. We're just trying to get some party shots on this Yamato, thinking to ourselves, probably going to lose A. How can we affect this match from here? Okay, and it's not us conceding the side right from the bat. It's us recognizing the reality on the board as it exists. Hit the Yamato with the torps a moment ago, used the damage cut on the flyer, and now we got him on the floods. And then we hit him with a parting shot there. Got lucky, got him with another fire. We'll get a little bit of passive damage there. Azuma maybe going for the ram, not sure. Ill-advised shot there, hoping to squeak one through the gap, but we did get spotted from the Vlad. Vlad, read the situation. All right, he's got shots coming in. He's low. He's got about 15k health there. And the fact that he doesn't have a lot of great support. In fact, nobody can shoot us except for the Vlad at the moment, and he just shot there. All right, let's chime in with the guns. Let's try and get this guy off the board, okay? We talk about destroyers trying to gun down battleships in the open water a lot. Usually it's a bad play, but situationally dependent, it can be a decent play, all right? We're not going to get a huge amount of damage here, and you got to keep an eye on that. We're just getting a few 100 damage basically per salvo. If we're lucky, 0 there, but not really in a major threat there. Okay, if we don't have support, we don't have guys that are shooting him, or he's got a couple other ships behind him with line of sight on us, we don't want to open up in that situation. We want to keep those guns silent, disengage, get out of there. Now we're looking at the situation here, saying to ourselves, maybe we can flip A here. Let's at least get on there, see if it continues to be contested, or we'll get a good read just by getting on the cap. Cleveland, the radar cruiser, we need to stay away from him. But I'm looking, he's getting shot by other guys. He's probably got his mind occupied here. And we got this Bismarck who's currently skirting around the edge of the cap, but we want to keep an eye on him and use this information from the torpedo indicator to get a good read on him. Okay, we'll see if he's coming towards us, and now you can see he is, because he's over 8 kilometers away, and the expected time to target for the torps is 7.2 kilometers. So we know he's coming in. even if we don't have a good picture of what he's doing. Get the torps through the gap there. I'd like to capture this base if possible. So we're going to get on this edge here, get away from the Bismarck, make sure he won't spot us. And then we see the Udaloy over here. He's attacking B. He's going to become spotted, unspotted periodically. We're going to hold the fire until the cap is secured, because then we got A. We're flipping a cap that was previously producing points for them. We got B. All right, so now we're going to be increasing our lead in the background while we continue to fight these ships. Once we've secured that, me and the, I believe it's a Friesland, ganging up on the Udaloy, and that's not a fight. He's going to win very easily. Pops the smoke now, a little bit late on that. And down he goes there. Secondaries from the Bismarck going off. Stop shooting the main guns. We'll get a couple parting salvos, hoping to catch him here. Looks like he's kind of worse for the wear going down anyways. But we want to be dropping spot, all right? You got to understand that when you don't shoot your guns, or when you shoot your guns, you got 20 seconds where your natural detection goes up to your max firing range. After that 20 seconds, your blue ring will contract back, and you'll often drop spot as long as nobody's in that blue ring on your map with a line of sight of you. Violet enhances that. Now, if you got a full max Violet, that drops that 20-second firing penalty down to 15. So, you know, we don't have smoke. We got to be able to disengage whenever possible and stop shooting when necessary. That'll keep your ship full of HP, which is playmaking currency. That'll keep your options open late in the game. Why we got this Cleveland over here? We need to talk about, okay, we got A, we got B. Do we want to necessarily abandon that side, or do we want to defend it? Okay, right now you can see I'm pushing into C because that's where the action is. But if there's nobody defending A, okay, we don't have that cruiser there. We don't have the battleships there. That Cleveland just goes on A, flips that right back. Now they're back to a 2v1 cap advantage, or even potentially in B. But due to the fact that we had people there that can defend against that ship, we can't really do much about it. Okay, he's a radar cruiser. He can pummel us in about 2-3 salvos. End of story. Suzuya, we're reading the twist and track, hoping it was the destroyer over here, but gambling, because we knew it could be a cruiser or the destroyer. Ends up being the Suzuya. Once again, a major threat to us. We're going to be using this line, or this island here, to cut that line of sight. You can see as soon as we get behind that, we drop spot, slam on the brakes. We want to see what he's going to do here. He's going to be tempted to come back to the right of the screen and chase me down, but of course, because we're in a crossfire position, he's got a lot of heavy guns shooting at him from the north. He's got to turn back and angle towards them. Recognizing that he's not going to push us, we switch over to the AP, fire up the reload booster, and start tickling him in the sides here. And combining the shots with our teammate, this guy isn't going to last very long in this situation at all. All right, so even though that's a risky play, got away with it. We had to read the situation. Here, though, we got the Cleveland coming around. Took me just a moment. I was thinking to myself, okay, where's this destroyer? And then we took the moment to take a look at the map and saw, oh god, we got the Cleveland right up our wazoo. Well, let's get out of there. All right, so we're electing to stop shooting once again, but because we're close enough to him, and because he's looks like he's attempting to open up with a full salvo on us, we need to, we're just going to start chiming with the guns. I couldn't tell there, the replay, there is the shot right there. I couldn't tell initially if his guns were pointing at the battleship or the cruiser to the west or us, but that was the danger. If he got 2 or 3 salvos off there, he could have very easily killed us. Now in this situation, not really that relevant. We're flipping C, that'll give us 3 caps, and we're up 5 ships. You know, even your bluest of the blue team legendary tier players would have a hard time throwing this. So if we die there, not the end of the world, but, very, very risky play in general. But a lot of this has come down to these ships behind us. So we haven't really been seeing who they are or what they're doing, but we've been seeing shots come in at the targets that the destroyers have been engaging the entire time, okay? And that's the key. You got to support your destroyers, figure out who's threatening them, and then keep them alive, all right? It's usually not the battleship floating around in outer space, way out of range to hit them. It's usually the ships that are cruisers, radar cruisers, destroyers. When you got your teammates shooting them, then you're going to be winning the game pretty easily. All right, so we're trying to hunt down this Shima. We don't want him to be able to get away and just run like a little puss. So we're going to hunt him down over here. Do secure the final base, and shots away. And we're just going to see what we can do over here. I think we got that, the Friesland is the destroyer close to him. He's actually going to take a whack there and go down. He ends up having the top score of the Friesland, so we weren't able to keep a great eye on him, but it looked like he was actively capturing bases, countering destroyers. That's how you get good scores in destroyers. That's where all the points are for you as the destroyer. You don't get a lot of points generally just flinging salvos of torps at the battleships parked on the moon. Those guys aren't valuable. They're not worth a lot of XP. So we're going to try and avenge him here using the twist and track. We got the battleship to the north of him, kind of enveloping that northern escape road, so we can be reasonably certain he's coming over here, and he's not going to last very long. So this is an example of a legendary tier game that was more fun to play. A lot of them not that fun to play these days because a lot of players just aren't trying to win the game, but this is kind of the fun you can have when it works. Anyway, that's a look at the Kleber for you guys. Hopefully you did enjoy it, and if you did, please hit the thumbs up. New to the channel, consider subscribing. We got lots of World of Warships. It's coming all the time for you. Questions, comments, leave them below. Love to hear from you, and we'll see y'all later. Peace.